Garfield is one of the most iconic comic strip characters of all time. This orange lasagna cat lover is well known for his hatred of Mondays, his love of said food and pizza, sleeping, and just overall being a grumpy and lazy cat. I didn't really have much expectations going into this one, as I just wanted to see how faithful it remains to its classic source material. I've also seen many people say this film is bad, but for me, I enjoyed this way better than I thought. Maybe it's because I'm not the biggest fan of Garfield and also just love to watch animated movies in general. But on both occasions, this movie actually does deliver a fair amount. Of course, this movie has its flaws. So sit back, relax, and watch as I review the Garfield movie on this Monday. Before we start this video, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe as well as hitting the bell icon to see more content. Thank you and enjoy. Firstly, this movie, unlike the comics, does a lot than that you would usually be seeing in Garfield media. At first, Garfield loves his life on being a lazy cat, eating all his food. But an event gets him involved in a heist and takes him away from his usual life. I actually like this because it makes the film more fun to watch, and I would rather not watch Garfield sit still and lazy for an hour and a half. I want to actually see something different. That's just me. Get out there and show them what you're really made of. For a Sony animated film, the 3D animation is also very beautiful to look at, even though there are some animation errors to be seen, like some of it being choppy or too fast at times. Still, the mix of colours like orange, yellow, and even a darker colour at times matches well with both times of the film, light and dark. Light showing Garfield's personal life, and dark being for the heist. What also makes this film enjoyable is that it actually does really well on portraying the Bill Murray films instead of the comics. So if you are a big fan of those films, then this film you'll definitely enjoy. Or just want a simple and easy story. Think of this as like those movies, but animated. What this film also does well is that it becomes a fun little heist movie that actually takes great ideas from Mission Impossible. Actually, this film, I like to call it Mission Impossible for kids. Great way to put it. Even Tom Cruise gets a little shout out. Also, like I said before, it adds more fun to its original source material. Despite Garfield being famous for making stupid jokes, there are some really funny moments outside it in this film. Like, probably my favourite being the scene where Garfield and Vic punch each other tied in grass rope, while Otto and Odie watch. While it may come off as filler at times, at least it takes great advantage on keeping children entertained, and parents will find it mildly amusing as well. Even the voice cast is very enjoyable. Samuel Jackson was really enjoyable. Hannah Waddingham played awesome as Jinx, and even though he's miscast as Garfield, as I will be talking about later, Chris Pratt will always never not be entertaining. Like his overall voice acting, even if it's not his character, is just a charm to hear. Lastly, the characters are really fun to watch. Garfield is of course Garfield, but there are a lot of other really likable characters like Vic, Jinx, even though she's a weak villain, Otto, John, and Odie. They are really easy to recognize due to the bright colors and being cute little characters. Otto got the best development, as all he wanted was his girl Ethel back. And that was so heartwarming to watch when they finally reunited. So now the bad qualities. Ones that hold back this film. It changes a lot that made the original Garfield media a classic. While the highest part of this movie is fun to watch, at least for me anyways, it can be very unnecessary for those that are a big fan of Garfield. Speaking of Garfield, his character is also changed a bunch. He's meant to be portrayed as a lazy cat who loves to eat, make stupid comments, and is not an action-oriented cat. It does all but action. Another bad thing is that this movie doesn't have that classic 70s-like aesthetic, as there's a lot of modern day technology and music. That's when the original Garfield was first introduced. And if this movie were to follow some similar style to the source material, then it should have been set in the 70s, with world structure and technology that people used to have back in those days. Here's something else that triggers me about this film. Even though Chris Pratt's acting is great, he's miscasted as Garfield. He even admitted on Twitter/X that he's not a fan of lasagna and finds it kind of overrated. Yet, he plays Garfield, who loves lasagna. So why even cast him in the first place? Just give us a good actor to play Garfield. Don't just randomly pick Chris Pratt. What else I don't like about this film is that there's a lot of product placement, like Walmart, FedEx, and Olive Garden. If this film takes place in the 70s, Olive Garden shouldn't exist because it was first found in 1982. It overall makes the film setting more set in the 2020s instead at times. Finally, this movie uses a lot of stock images and clips that are all possibly not credited, or at least tell us when they were taken. I'd imagine that the credits scene uses stock images of cute little cats, which are all not credited, by the way. I mean, it is pretty funny, but also unnecessary. The cats should have been animated. Like, take those same clips and images, but animate them. Overall, my final opinion on the Garfield movie, while it's not the greatest animated film I've ever seen in my life, it's another solid one. Sure, it has a lot to accomplish if it wants to rival some of my favourite movies of this year, and it's also badly outclassed when compared to other animated films like Spider-Verse. Still, it's a solid ride for any kids wanting to get a kick out of our favourite orange cat. I also would like to mention that if you are just after some good heist, then this film also kind of has it, especially if you want to start somewhere. Learn of how one goes. But if you are a massive Garfield fan out there, then this film may not be as good because Garfield in those classic stories is a different tale. But this movie, all in all, is a good ride and may be one capable of delivering a simple, joyous experience. What is your opinion on the Garfield movie? What was your favourite moment in the film? Are you a big fan of the title character? And in terms of 2024 films, how does it compare? Let me know in the comments section below. And also, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And subscribe to my channel if you are new. And hit that bell icon to see more content on my channel. Thanks for watching. Much like the title character, I hate Mondays. But this, it's a solid ride, with lots of fun movements and actors. Though if you are a big Garfield fan, don't expect too much. Unless you like Mission Impossible, then good for you.